Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Reaper Podcast. It's been some time since I have been gone, and I am back. I've been preparing for stuff. Some stuff has been moved around in my life, getting it all mixed around. Now, if you guys are gonna hear like later on that I'm actually changing up what I'm doing, and basically I'm getting right with myself. Though some of you may be like, really, but this all would make sense. My son watches Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and all them, which is it's totally fine because a lot of kids watch them. It's becoming a norm nowadays. But the one simple thing that I did not keep in check was the fact that it happened a while back where my son started picking up saying cuss words here and there and there and there. And it's all because he watched that YouTube channels and picked up the language and all that. I finally sat down and talked to him, and I was like, well, you can't be talking like that, because that's not how you talk. They're just entertainers. So it got me thinking, I'm an entertainer. I am an entertainer. And I cuss, or used to. What if some kid watches my videos and picks up the cussing and starts running around cussing, and then parents, like I am, would say, where did you hear that? And then they would be mad at me. I didn't get mad at Markiplier and them because that's the norm. That's how they are. So I begin to look into myself and go, what kind of role model am I? If I wanted to be a YouTuber, voice actor, what role model am I to cuss and his kids watch mine? Yes, I can set it as an adult only channel where people that are adults, but you got to understand this from my point of view, my perspective. So you guys are going to hear me say butt or crap or whatever. And I really think I saw Markiplier and them try not to cuss. And it was a couple videos long, and then all of a sudden, boom. They end up cussing, and they just and they even made a video whatever, I'm gonna cuss. And it's, they tried, but they didn't really try hard enough, So I am trying. Yes, it may seem boring at first, but I think my high energy, I think if I would get into the high energy of things and just jump around and hoot and holler, and I think that will be more entertainment. And plus, if I can actually get somewhere with this camera situation that I have going on, and I think that would help as well. You could see me. But yeah. Now, I was gonna do a post E3 podcast, but that did not work out so well. The reason why it didn't work out so well, because I got it done and I was uploading, and then I don't know what was going on, but it didn't complete it for some reason. So I'm gonna try to keep this down 30 minutes. I think an hour or 40 or an hour long is too long. I do believe. So I'm gonna try to keep it down to 30 minutes. I'm researching better internet so that way I can have better internet. So that way I'm not like waiting, constantly for. I don't know what's going on with my internet. It seems like it's derping down so much. So yeah, there's just a lot of things going on. But anyway, and by the time I would upload it, it'd be in the midst of E3. So I'm like, why even bother to do that? And most of the stuff that I talked about was already shown, So I was like, huh. So let's go back. Let us not that. Let us go back. We should quit doing that. Okay. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I want to talk about that. Because we just got Assassin's Creed Origin last year, and now there's Odyssey. Is Ubisoft gonna repeat the same mistake again? Meaning that they were like releasing every Assassin's Creed every year, and it was just like it derped down so low. It was so just the storyline was short, to the point, and it was like boom, done, bam, and then it's like on to the next one, and DLCs were just like, they were not very good at all. It was too rushed because they're wanting that formula of every year. They're wanting to compete with companies every year. Ubisoft, I don't know if they come out with a game every year. I think Assassin's Creed was it. And then they started to come out every year. And let me tell you this. Okay, the Assassin's Creed series, when you start seeing the Assassin's Creed, I think it was after 3. It was either after 3 or after 4. I think it was after 4. They started going wham, wham, one after another. And it was good, and then the story kind of derped a little bit. Like, there was no connection to other characters whatsoever. There was no connection to anything. It was all lunacy of different things piled into this one big pot that is called Assassin's Creed. And I don't understand that. I don't really understand why are they going back to the formula of releasing a game every year. To me, it's like, oh, we figured out the formula. We figured it out. No, you did not figure it out. What? Just because it's like this action RPG all of a sudden doesn't mean you figured out the formula. There's the storyline. How long is the game entitled if you just go straight into the storyline, start to finish? How long is the game per se? How long is the side quest? How long? You gotta put into perspective. People want long games. Most people just pick up a game and finish it in about a week. And I tell you what, I was one of those people because the stories are so short that I could pick a game. Back then, I could pick up a game, not even recording, not even worrying about time. I could pick up a game and literally beat it in about a week. I could pick up PS2 games, and it would take me forever to re-beat them because it was so long, so extensive, and it just, you gotta have, and the story was so good. Like, now these games, they come out with just stories that you could tell kind of derp down in the story, or they added stuff to get you like excited, or they added stuff because it's like, oh, that story kind of went downhill a little bit, and we need something in there that kind of just spruced it up, or to explain a little bit of this, which it really didn't need to. But you gotta have this the story that's so rich, and you have to have something that explains. And if you don't get to it in one game, if you're planning on doing a sequel to that game, please make sure those sequels, talk about what didn't get talked about in the other game. That's sometimes we have a problem with that, which we leave a key important thing out, and people are getting more and more and more like, oh, this and that and this and that, because it leaves this mystery that really didn't need to be. And it's like they keep telling a story. It's like, okay, where's this key factor? And it's like, oh, and then like sometimes they explain it in interviews, and it's like, why did you not just explain it in the game instead of an interview? Why do that? That's that makes no sense. That way people don't need to theorize what needs to be theorized. You just wasted time and people's money theorizing about stuff, and then when you just give a simple answer that you could have gave in the games, but you give a simple answer in an interview, there's theorists out there that go, wow, okay, I just wasted my entire life almost with that theory. I'm not talking about like Metal Gear or anything. I'm stating the fact that there's certain stuff in certain games that do that. Metal Gear, was perfect at storytelling. They would bring to the table a story and plot holes on purpose for the simple fact of down the road, they would make a game plot hole and another plot hole and another plot hole and another plot hole. They'll have like at least 3 games of plot holes, and you're like, okay, I don't understand this, I don't understand that. And then they'll bring this game out. Okay, for instance, like Metal Gear Solid 4. You take Metal Gear Solid 4 and you take all the Metal Gear games up to that point. Metal Gear and then Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. I think it was Peace Walker. I think Peace Walker was after MGS 4, if I do believe. And Metal Gear Solid was it Portable Ops? Portable Ops. You take those games and you just like crunch those games down. I think Peace Walker was after MGS 4. Let me go ahead and look. But you take those games, you scrunch them down, the plot holes, and you pretty much you take those games and you melt down the plots, and then you're left with the plot holes, the nuts or whatever, and you take those and you grind them up, and you make another recipe and you sprinkle those on top of MGS 4, or on top of those recipes you got MGS 4. I mean, that's point blank right there, and that's what I love about Kojima's Metal Gear series, is because they, hang on, let me move my mic, they pretty much take the plot holes they take the plot holes and just totally, hang on one second, I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look up the release dates for the games and everything. Okay. Oh, never mind. I looked for the wrong one. Okay. Portable Ops was released before. Okay. Okay, that's what I was thinking about. Peace Walker was released, of course, after MGS 5, so, or 4, so there wouldn't be, it wouldn't be in the series. Okay, I was right. Okay, so if you take just Portable Ops and liquid it down. It's that's what makes MGS4 so beautiful. I mean, there are like certain plot holes, like the Great Box experiments, Dr. Clark. I mean, there are some plot holes that need to be filled. There's key parts. But the thing is, when you look at the overall plot holes, like Big Boss, Eva, like why are they bringing Eva? Why are they telling the story about Eva? Why are they telling the story about Big Boss? And then when MGS4 comes around, it's like boom, it hits you right in the face at the end of MGS4, going, that's the reason. Wow, that is incredibly awesome of storytelling, because they're 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 telling stories of different people, and like and then it like kind of like drops off like a cliffhanger, and you're like, I want to know what happened to that person. I want to know what happened to that person. And then when you play like MGS2, like when you replay MGS1 and 2 or the other games, it's like, well, where is Eva and all them in during all this? When you're watching MGS2, it's like, where are these people? And then MGS4 just kind of like, okay, I get it now, So that's the one thing that I love about the Metal Gear series. Is Odyssey ready? Like, do I think it's ready to be? It looks good. Okay, it looks so good. And the reason why I think it looks so good is because they reused the engine from Origins, and they reused almost everything from Origins. The only thing they did not reuse was story and costumes and stuff. But I mean, maybe a little bit of the costumes, but the another thing I did saw was Doom 2. I need to finish Doom so I can get it out there. So when Doom 2 comes out, I can get Doom 2 and get that going and playing. Kingdom Hearts 3, I saw that. I'm like, oh, wow. Pirates of the Caribbean, Frozen, different rides and all that. The stories. Aqua is anointed. I don't know how you pronounce it, but pretty much she is like Xehanort, and it's just incredibly awesome. And everybody's ready for the Big Hero 6 thing. And I'm curious about seeing that too. But it's not ready. So, it's okay. It's cool. Fallout. I'm just blasting through these, you guys, because I'm trying to get to the meat, Fallout 76. Okay, it's not an actual Fallout game. It's an online game. Okay, I've had my online experiences with Bethesda, meaning the Elder Scrolls series. The online that I bought it like it was like $11. I'm like, it was cheap, so I was like, you know what? I'll just buy it and see what it's worth. I'm sorry, I can't get into Elder Scrolls Online because when you play Oblivion and Skyrim, where you have the option, any dead person, they're dead when you got there. You have the option of taking their clothes and everything they have on their person, whether it's jewels, money, materials, weapons, clothing, armor, keys, notes, food. You can take anything. What online does is, instead of like the way I would do it, would be like that person, like if that person kills that person and there's like other people around, I would go ahead and just have, like they do for online gamers now. I can't remember what online game that I play. Oh, Survive. Survive has that where Was it Survive that I played? It was like co-op. There was a no. It was like it wasn't Fortnite either. There was an online mode. I swear I'm not losing. Or I'm not. I shouldn't swear. That's bad to go. Oh, you know. But I promise you, it was an online game. Okay, I promise I'm not losing it. I know I'm not. Okay, it was an online game. But Bethesda's, I cannot. I don't know. I don't know about Fallout 76. We'll see. Hopefully they'll fix the problem they have with Elder Scrolls. Speaking of Elder Scrolls, they have Elder Scrolls 6 coming out. I do believe it's 6. And it was just a teaser. There was like it showed like landscaping. It was beautiful, and then they showed a teaser. I'm like, okay, cool. Devil May Cry 5, which I told you, I went out and told you it's gonna be at. I mean, I said it was gonna be at the other E3, but this year I was for sure of it that it's gonna be there. I had a little bit of doubt, but Devil May Cry 5 is there, and I did do like a reaction thing, and pretty much Devil May Cry 5 is after Devil May Cry 4. Let me get a little prediction here of what's gonna happen, because it seems like they're stepping away from 2 a little bit. You know, they still have it in the HD collections, but they're kind of stepping away. They're not even touching. They're not even going to a Devil May Cry like after 2 for some reason. I don't know. Maybe that's the end of the series. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to build up Dante's legendary reputation and why he's so alone. But it doesn't make sense because the timeline and the games are everywhere. You know, you have Devil May Cry 3, and then from 3 goes to 1, and then 1 pretty much like you split. Okay, 1 and 2 were direct sequels. So if you take 1 and span it out here, you know, you separate 1 and 2, and you drop 4 and 5 right there in between. Boom, it's right there. So my prediction is that either A, they're trying to come up with the best story after what happens after 2. You know, maybe they're trying to set up where Nero takes over Dante. I mean, that's why we haven't been able to play Dante, is because they're setting up for Nero to take over for Dante, for Devil May Cry, and while he's gone, you know, he goes, disappears, and you know, Nero is the antagonist now. But the other prediction I have is they're gonna redo 2. They're gonna just they're gonna have that as a classic HD collection thing, but when it comes to 2, they're gonna rewrite, I do believe, the story. They're not even gonna call it 2. They're probably gonna rewrite it and call it either 6 or 7. So that's my prediction on Devil May Cry. And of course, we got the Resident Evil 2 remake reveal and gameplay. Oh, to see the PlayStation. I need to get on remake 1, man, because, you know, Resident Evil, I need to get that. That way I can be like, and like Doom, I need to have those 2 done and be like waiting on Resident Evil 2, waiting on Doom 2, so that way I can pop those puppies in there and go to town, you know. And it's cool how they're doing the Resident Evil 7, like it's Resident Evil 4/7 feel, you know, it's pretty cool. I like it. But the meat of this whole podcast is Death Stranding. You all know it was coming. Death Stranding is remarkable, and I love it. There's one itsy bitsy tiny thing is that it's still a teaser. It's still teaser. They're showing cutscenes. It's still a teaser. So I'm gonna have an analysis, video on that too. I'm trying to get. I mean, all the teasers he's releasing. I'm like, man, I don't have time. You know. But it was remarkable to see Death Stranding, and of course Norman Reedus, Lindsay Wagner. Oh wow, it was just amazing, and I love it. The Bionic Woman is in Death Stranding, so I don't know what to extent, but yeah. My theory is that Norman is the old Ocelot, and he's stranded in death in this other world. You don't even know who he is, for some reason. He's dying. And I do believe Lindsay Wagner is probably she can't be the boss. She is Eve, and the other woman is probably the boss, so I don't know what's going on. And it's so awesome to watch Death Stranding. I watch it over and over and over. So a lot of stuff happening. I've seen Solo, Deadpool 2. I've seen a lot of good movies lately. Just a bunch of stuff happening. I'm getting back into recording more videos, just pumping them out there. I've been like releasing videos, and then I'm scraping at the bottom of the barrel now. So I hope you guys can forgive me for this very, very, very short podcast. I want to keep it at least 30 minutes long, because I don't want it to extend or whatever. But once I can get to where I can record an actual hour, I will let you guys know. So thank you guys so much for listening. Check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon. If you could donate $1, that would be awesome. Check out my merch and buy my merch down below. It would help me tremendously. It would help me out so much. And check out my Twitch channel. I do live stream sometimes. I live stream Metal Gear sometimes, or other games. So thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys next week.